You having a stressful day and need a few laughs? Well, you come to the right place. Myself, Lyric, and Jimmy Jam are fathers formerly in the music industry who have a lot to say. So sit back, sip your cup of coffee, and welcome to the shenanigans.
4, 3.
Welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. I am your host, Lyrican, and I'm chilling with my great brother, the double shot of espresso, aka the MC Search of podcasting, Mr. Jimmy Jam. How are you doing, brother?
I am doing well, my brother. Good to see you. You did say you were going to come up with some. I like the MC Search. That was good. Should I give him the dance?
Hey, if you could do the dance, go ahead. Hey, I didn't give you one last week. Restructuring the show kind of threw me off a little bit, but I'm back and I'm feeling great today, baby. Good. I'm feeling great.
I've been looking forward to this all day. So,
how's your weekend doing?
Good. Everybody's good. How about you?
I'm enjoying the nice weather today. It's a little chilly, but I took the dog out for a little run. I'm trying to get back into shape. We went for a little run. Enjoyed the weather a little bit. This week is supposed to be nice, so
60 degrees next weekend.
Hopefully it knocks off a lot of these people in their cabin fever, as they call it.
I hear you.
Why don't we start this podcast off with something funny? Okay. Why don't you tell me if you found anything funny or baffling in the news this week?
Oh, I have a good one. I have to pull up my phone to look at it. But the overall gist was, this is back on December, I think it was December 30th. So it's a little older. But I was scrolling through the articles and I found this. In Mexico, there was a gentleman and a lady that lived next door to each other who were having an affair behind their spouse's back. Of course, that's what an affair is. And instead of doing, like, going to a hotel or doing, anything like that, Jorge, which is his name, dug a tunnel from his house underground to her house, which was right next door, and it came out behind the couch. So there was a hole on the floor behind the couch, and they apparently, her name was Pamela. Her husband came home and caught them in the act, and I guess Jorge was hiding behind the couch then, and when he went to get Jorge, he was gone. He noticed the hole in the floor and followed the tunnel over to Jorge's house, where his wife was startled by the neighbor being there. So this was a big deal. The tunnel of love, I guess you could call it, but it was pretty amazing.
The tunnel of love. He El Chapo'd for some booty.
Well, that's the thing. They did talk about a person react to the news is quite quick. Mexico generally is known for their tunnels. Ask El Chapo. So, but I don't know what happened to Jorge and Pamela. Alberto was her husband's name. They don't talk about his wife's name, but this was in Tijuana City.
That's what happens when you're living la vida loca, I guess.
She bangs.
I'm so glad you caught that alley-oop beautifully, and you just beautiful.
So that's my crazy news story for the week. I was floored by Jorge and his tunnel building skills.
You would really have to have. She must have the most amazing equipment.
Yeah,
but if their affair was lasting a while, how do you not notice a big gaping hole behind your couch?
I guess it was up against the wall. So what he did was he would come up, push the couch out, climb out of the hole, and into hers.
What type of spoon, fork, shovel do you use to tunnel through a foundation?
That's That's all I could picture was Shawshank Redemption. The whole time that I'm reading this, I'm picturing the Shawshank Redemption. So that,
Well, to maybe he wanted to play Mario Brothers. It came out like Mario, like do 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 do. It came out the little tongue.
this little hat on.
That's great. So we started talking about the weather. The weather is starting to change. Do you have any big plans coming up for the weather when the weather changes?
I do. As you know, I've been on countdown since October as to when I can get back into the campground.
The return of the glamping king.
Yes, sir. I am ready. It officially opens April 15th, I believe, is when they hook the water back up. So, we're going to be going down here soon just to start to set things up, like remake the bed, put the extra bedding out for the pull outs, and fill up to get the propane tanks and make sure everything's working fine. And then, we can't run the water, but everything else we can test to make sure everything's okay.
So your first trip down will be just like the getting it ready for shenanigans.
Yeah, because we have to go down. We'll probably go down in a week or so just to check on everything and do what we have to do. And then we'll go back down when they open because I have to get my golf cart, which is in storage next door. So I'm excited. That's all I care. Not all I care about. Pardon me, but it's my happy place, and I'm ready to get back to it.
Nice. I am on the verge of testing my handy-manny skills.
Uh-oh.
I am buying my daughters the first swing set that I've ever purchased in my life.
Are you going to build this?
They have like the sets that you can build and put together, but I don't want to get them the old rinky-dinky metal one where if you swing too hard, it picks up the legs.
Yeah.
I want to get a nice wooden, they have a slide, they have swings, they have stuff to hurt themselves, what kids do.
Yeah.
So,
those metal ones come with their own tetanus shots, I think.
Well, yeah. And, maybe rabies or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
awesome.
I'm excited because we have the property to do it. So I've been getting the wife has been harassing me that they need entertainment besides just throwing the ball outside. So we are getting them a swing set.
You ought to go to Home Depot and look at theirs. I think they sell them.
Yeah, I looked at the Depot, I looked at the Lowe's, and I looked at a few other spots out towards Gap that have some.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea down the Amish Made area.
Yeah, so because I'm thinking about even getting they have one with like the little playhouse that you can just build, right? So I'm thinking about doing all that and just maybe them giving them a couple shock collars and an invisible fence so they can't leave and let them go outside.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we'll see how that works out. I'll videotape how many times I get hurt.
Yeah. More power to you. There's no way I could do it.
Well, we'll try it out. I'm wrapped around their fingers. Now that the weather's breaking and they're going to have more, hopefully, they'll have more events going on in life to try to break people back into a break from the chaos we've been through for the past year and a half.
Yeah. It's a week shy of a year.
Yeah. I mean, now that Philadelphia can have sporting events, they're allowed to have a certain amount of capacity. I think it's 20% at their professional stadiums and stuff like that. Some of the schools are allowing parents allowed to come see their kids play.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is proper mask etiquette? Like, is there a proper mask etiquette to you?
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in wearing a mask. I don't always, like, if I'm in the car with, my family or myself, I won't wear a mask. If I'm with a different person or someone out of my household, most likely I would wear a mask. That doesn't happen too often. If I go to the store, if I go to Turkey Hill, any of those places, I wear a mask. It's just the right thing to do. But if I'm walking down the street, I won't. If I was at a sporting event and there was people next to me and we weren't like properly socially distancing, I probably would wear a mask. I see people driving around by themselves in their car with a mask on. And to me, that's like wearing a condom to bed by yourself. It just makes no sense. So I
Gotta protect yourself from them wet dreams, I guess.
But no, I think people should wear masks. I think it's the right thing to do. I get really upset when I'm at the store or I'm in Turkey Hill or, and people just come right up behind you. They don't have a mask on. They're not, they stand right up on you, and I can't. That drives me nuts. It really does. It's a respect thing.
Now, me personally, at work, I don't wear one because, I got asthma. And now that I'm a little heavier than I'm used to, it's a little harder on the chest for me. But I wear one around the neck. So if a customer comes up, I pull it up.
Yeah.
Just out of respect, especially, even though I work inside of a warehouse, it's technically outside. It's just a roofed outside, pretty much, where I work with building materials. So I'm outside. The employees keep themselves separated from each other. So, I wear one when I see, customers come up, especially the older generation come up, and if they're wearing one, but I make sure I stay my distance even at that as well.
Yeah. I know people that don't wear them at all. They go to the store, they blatantly don't wear them. I have someone in our lives that I'd like to smack right across the face because this person refuses to do it no matter what. So I think it's the right thing to do. It's the polite thing to do. But like I said, when these people wearing masks in the car by themselves, like I said, it's just like wearing a condom to bed by yourself. It makes no sense.
Now, have you heard of these people overusing hand sanitizer to the point where it's like poisoning their bloodstream?
No, I didn't hear about this.
They recalled, like, I think it was 40 different brands of hand sanitizer because they were pushing them out like left and right. And at work, we buy it by the gallons and then we fill up the smaller containers.
Yeah.
They recalled it because if continued use of it actually was saying that it was going through your fingers and into your bloodstream, that it was actually it was like making people sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's been different things. Like I had when the whole hand sanitizer, toilet paper towels episodes occurred like we said a year ago or so, and you couldn't get hand sanitizer anywhere. I went to Roots Beer Distributor in Mount Joy, and they were the first ones to carry those bottles. It looked like vodka. And yeah. It smelled horrible. I mean, you had to put like scented diffusers, whatever it's called, those natural oils or whatever. Yeah. Oh my God. It stank so bad. I can't stand the smell of hard liquor. And it smelled just like that.
They had them in all sorts of fashions. They had ones that looked like they were in oil containers at Turkey Hill.
Yeah, they still do that.
Yeah. I seen that. I thought they were pretty cool. I mean, we have a bunch of them at work, and then I don't like the glob one, but I have the spray because I feel like the spray doesn't kind of leave a nasty feel in your hands.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the spray much, much more.
Yeah. What's your opinion on like I said, like going to the store and everything like that?
You're in a atmosphere where multiple people show up.
Yeah.
Especially with what we know as a pandemic. I believe it's respectful. Especially because if you're in an atmosphere, I come home to a wife and babies.
Yep.
So I'm not doing it because I don't think I'm going to get sick, because I know my immune system is strong enough that I could probably fight the virus off. It'd be okay. Yeah. But I got 2 little ones who are just building immune systems.
Yeah. You got to look out for your family. Yeah.
I wear it for safety of them. You know, I'm very, 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 very interactive with my uncle, and I know your parents are older, so it's my due diligence to wear a mask.
I agree. I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, after a year now, it's like, get on board, people. Just wear the mask. You know,
it's not. I don't think it's anything against your rights. I don't think it's anything.
No,
it's just human nature and human respect for humans in general.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you wash your hands before you eat dinner. You do stuff like that all the time. You grew up doing that. You go to the bathroom, you wash your hands. You know, it's just simple. It's not.
There's no difference between wearing a mask and covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze. There's no difference.
Nope. No, none. And it's just, I think people just, are slowly, there's a majority of the population, I think, believes in wearing a mask, social distancing, doing what they need to do to stay safe and healthy. And then there's just that small population that ruins it for everybody, that thinks they're invincible. So,
look, if you can't fly and you can't dodge bullets, you're not invincible, baby. You're not invincible.
Not at all.
Well, talking about flying and all this crazy stuff, want to get into a little nerd talk?
Yeah, I do. I finished WandaVision, so I'm up on that.
How'd you feel about the ending?
Not what I thought it was. They opened the door for more of another not the evil emperor, but he's like the biggest witch, the guy. I don't know what his title is, but that's when Agatha says, "You don't know what you've done." She opened up the portal for this sorcerer.
Yeah. There's 2 of them in hell, as they call it. There's Nightmare and there's Mephisto. Nightmare is a big antagonist of Doctor Strange. Mephisto's a big antagonist for Wanda. But I have a feeling Marvel is going to combine the 2 and make one big entity. And I was expecting to see him, but I'm kind of happy we didn't.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when they first showed Thanos, and then we kept seeing him, and by the time we actually seen him on TV, he looked totally different from when we first saw him.
Yeah.
He was a whole different shade of purple and everything. I wanted, when he shows up and he starts destroying things, I want that big wow factor.
Well, they said that, this definitely, there was an article online about, this was definitely the prep to Falcon and Winter Soldier, which comes out this Friday.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I know. No, is it this Friday or next Friday? One of the 2.
This Friday.
But the other setup they said was definitely for Doctor Strange 2. This is the the parlay into the whole world of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's spinning off Doctor Strange. Is spinning off Captain Marvel 2, as well as Secret Invasion TV series. And then everything else that has to do with Wanda. And I'm assuming down the road, another Avengers movie.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that yet. I think Tony Stark's going to come back. I believe you and I mentioned this the other night, as a hologram type thing. I don't think he's going to...
The new Jarvis.
Yeah, but it's not going to be just a voice. He's going to be an image as well, I think.
Similar to his eulogy in Endgame.
Yes, when he was talking to his daughter and happy. Yeah.
I already think that right there was the clue, because when he says "I love you 3000," he looks right at his daughter.
Yeah.
So and you saw Pepper's face. She's like, she had that look like, how did she know where she was? So I don't even think Pepper knows. I think the Ironheart TV series that's coming out with Riri Williams, I think she activates that intelligence somehow.
Okay.
And then that will be her origin story, because she's in Captain America Civil War, when he's at ITT Tech or whatever the institution he's at where he donates all the money, Riri Williams is actually in there.
Okay.
And she's building a new version of the Iron Man suit. She's the most intelligent one of that class. But
well, I'm excited to see where Marvel goes with it. The other thing I was watching, I read over. It's called Comet News, and they were talking about Justice League, so it caught my attention. I wanted to read it. I thought they were talking about another Justice League coming out, but they didn't. They kind of set it up to say that, but it didn't show that then. But what it did talk about is DC made the Justice League to compete with Marvel, because they wanted to have that Avengers type flow for their, and they based it on the same amount of characters, pretty much
same type of. Yeah, I mean, DC and Marvel has been stealing characters from each other. You have Deathstroke and Deadpool. You have Namor. You have Aquaman. Yeah, I mean, there's characters on both sides of the fence that are very similar to each other. But Justice League, the movie, Zack Snyder's version, is actually coming out the 18th of this month.
Oh, really?
Are you ready for 4 hours and 2 minutes worth of DC comic book movie?
No.
The only reason I'm this much excited about it is Zack Snyder said he didn't use any of the footage from the original Justice League movie. They reshot everything.
Who's playing the role of Batman?
Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Yeah, because the person that did Zack Snyder started the first Justice League movie. Then they brought Jason Whedon, the guy who did the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
They brought him in to finish it, which we all know it was horrible. I personally didn't like the first Justice League movie. I thought it was too fast paced. They tried to do too much in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, they crammed too much of a storyline for each individual. They came out with. I thought Wonder Woman wasn't great. I didn't watch WW84, so I can't say anything. The only movie I liked, the only movies I liked out of the DC world was, of course, Superman. But that was the only one that really.
Aquaman was okay. I liked Aquaman. I like the fact they used Jason Momoa. Was that his name? Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
The Rock's twin brother, as I call him. Yeah. I think they made Aquaman look as strong as he really is in the comic books. Because not many people know. They think just because he's not in water, he's not strong. Like, he's super strong. You can't stab him. You can't shoot him with a gun. Like, he almost has the same powers as Superman, besides the heat vision and flight.
Yeah.
And he could talk to Flipper. But
no, I just thought that was interesting, that they're competing, with the Russo brothers, and they're trying to
they're not gonna. I mean, Zack Snyder, I like him and his cinematic views in a lot of movies. So that's the only reason why I will sit down and watch the Justice League movie. I will watch it, and I will give him his time, because he even brought Jason Leto back to play the Joker. The Joker was supposed to be in the original. Yeah, Jared Leto. And he even by the looks of the Joker, they fixed the Suicide Squad's Joker because he looks more like the actual Joker.
Yeah, I didn't like the Suicide Squad Joker. I thought that was a horrible rendition.
I hope that they fix that, and I hope this saves DC, because even though I'm not a big DC guy, they have a lot of great stories.
Yeah.
And we all could benefit from more comic book movies, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where both DC and Marvel go with the next stage of the movies. I mean, I don't think DC's there yet, but Marvel's onto its junior life, and all the characters, that were Marvel, most of them are no longer. And so who's going to come up as the front person? Iron Man was the leader of the first round.
Yeah.
And people look and say it was Captain America. I think it was more Iron Man.
Them two were, I say it was 1A, 1A, 1B, because the first, three phases, as they dug the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad we're moving on, because now Marvel has such a humongous pool of heroes that they're proving, hey, we don't have to rely on the big five.
Yeah.
Here's Ant-Man. He's not one of the big ones, and everybody fell in love with Ant-Man. Now they're doing Ironheart. They're doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When did you actually think a movie about Wanda would actually be successful?
Yeah, I didn't. I really didn't think WandaVision was going to take off. They brought a lot of characters into play too. There's a lot of Easter eggs in these 9 episodes of WandaVision that set up the movies that are coming. So
now, when were you going to let everybody know you were going to be in WandaVision?
I was going to be in WandaVision.
Yeah, you're the White Vision, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, right.
You look like Paul Bettany a little bit. You might have been the stand-in for White Vision.
I didn't care for White Vision. I really didn't. I like Vision the way he is and all his red glory.
But comic heads know that the White Vision is actually the original Vision.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think obviously you saw Vision's memories are in the new White Vision.
Yes.
So I think that in itself is going to lead somewhere else down the road.
You think he's going to become an Avenger?
Oh yeah, hands down, he's going to be an Avenger. We definitely haven't seen the last of White Vision.
Okay.
We have sports going on today. We have the Allstar game is as we are speaking in process.
I know
the last time I checked, Seth Curry has won his second 3-point shooting title. They announced that Blake Griffin is joining the Brooklyn Nets. And this is the question that I want to ask you. Blake Griffin, who is a great player, I would put him like a B-list player.
Okay.
Is joining 3 A-list players in Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Harden. How do you feel about players of that magnitude all joining one big team and becoming a quote-unquote super team?
I think it's good. I like to see the dynasties. I'm not a big basketball person, I'll admit it. And I used to be baseball, but I'm not. I'm pretty much just football. I wanted to see all 3 Watt brothers on the Steelers. So to me, if I'm supporting that, I can say that, it's okay. Unfortunately, the one Watt brother is going to Cardinals. And
they gave him a lot of money too.
they threw a lot of money at him. But There was a time where you had, and everyone knows I'm a Steelers fan. You had Jerome Bettis, you had Hines Ward, you had Troy Polamalu, you had Ben. You had a lot of good players on some teams for a certain amount of time. So I think stacking the deck a little bit, that's what sports is about.
Yeah, I can't really say nothing because we all know I am a super diehard Laker. And what was the Showtime Lakers?
Yeah.
The best players. So I can't, the only way I'm okay with it is if they're on the East Coast. So as long as there's a team on the West Coast that can actually rival them. So like when you get to the NBA Finals, is actually a competition.
Yeah.
Instead of all right, we might as well just hand these guys the trophy because we all know they're just going to stomp them out. As long as there's a negative to the positive, then it'd be great. Because now that we don't no longer have the dynasty of the Patriots.
Yeah.
And there's really no dynasty. I mean, I guess you can call it Kansas City the start of a dynasty. But
I think Tampa Bay is going to come out too.
I'd be surprised if they made it to the Super Bowl this year coming up, because there was a lot of shaking up. They're saying Alex Smith was released from the Washington, and he was by far the biggest comeback story of the year. To this close of losing your leg, and then messing up your surgery, and an infection that almost killed you, to come back and lead your team to the playoffs.
I know.
And I think him playing that good put a wrench in their plans, because they knew Alex Smith was not their guy, but he played very well, and he's going to go to a team where they're saying that the Bears want him. I don't know if he's going to the Bears, but I mean, Jared Goff switched the team. Matt Stafford switched the team. My QB left to the Colts.
Yeah.
And even though I'm a diehard Laker fan, I loved Carson Wentz for what he stood for, the man that he was, and the character that he was outside of football.
Diehard Eagles fan.
Yeah.
You said Lakers. I was like, wait.
Yeah, sorry, wrong sport. I'm a diehard Eagles fan.
Threw me off there for a minute. I'm like, wait, are we back on basketball?
Yeah, I stumbled myself, but Carson Wentz was a well put young man. He held himself up. He was heavy into his religion. He did a lot for the community. So even though I will be 100% rooting for my team, I will be secretly rooting for my boy Carson to be successful. Obviously not against the Eagles, but to be successful over there.
Did you see the house he is selling in Jersey?
Oh my Jesus.
Lordy, I was blown away by that house. It was amazing.
Gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, it's
gorgeous. March 17th is when the NFL starts. So a lot of these trades that happen will become official then. How do you feel about Ben coming back for one more year?
He's taking a pay cut to do it. So
are they going to put a OtterBox around him so he doesn't break another bone?
I'm hoping that Ben does make this his last year, and I hope that in doing so that he goes out a winner. Just like I was rooting for Drew Brees to go out a winner too, to be honest with you. But with Big Ben coming back, I think he's showing that he supports his team. It's not all about him by taking the cut that he's taken. So I commend him for that. I was hoping for some young blood to give it a building season, but we'll see. We'll see how he does.
He played at a very good elite level last year.
He's a good player. He was a great player, but he's showing his age, 20 some years in the game. And that's a long time. to take the hits that he's taken and the concussions outside of the field, so.
So do you think somebody needs to go, hey, Ben, it's the last year. You should hang it up.
I'm hoping the Rooneys have that talk with him at the end of this coming season.
I think he's giving them a year to plan on what they're going to do after Ben. Maybe get a guy in the draft, move up in the draft and get somebody, or maybe the year following. I think he's in there to just bridge the gap as of right now.
And I think he's going to work on handing the reins over to someone else. That's what I think this is about. He instead of him just stepping out and them having to throw somebody in, I think they're going to slowly bring whoever's going to be their QB, their main QB. Ben will not mold that person, but guide them. So
why does Big Ben look like Will Ferrell?
You think?
Look at your picture and type in Big Ben and Will Ferrell. They're a side-by-side picture. And matter of fact, it'll pop up on the screen when I edit this. They look identical. If they don't pick Will Ferrell to play Ben in a biopic, they just lost every opportunity to have someone look exactly like Ben.
Wow. I didn't think of that.
They look exactly like brothers, and it's a bit scary.
That is funny. I thought you and I looked alike when we first met.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Like I'd be the pale, sick version of you.
you got a better jawline than me. I'm just too chunky in the face. You got the superhero chin, and I just got I eat too many freaking burritos.
My movie, TV show, whatever you want to call it for the week, is definitely Coming to America 2 was very disappointing.
Yeah.
It wasn't the 1980s Eddie Murphy. It was 2021 Eddie Murphy, who's a little bit more arrogant than I think he was. Eddie's gotten a little weird over the years, and
I would have been okay with Nutty Professor.
Yeah,
Eddie. It looked like they tried too hard. And they tried. I couldn't buy into the story. In the first one, he was so in love with that girl, he would do anything. So where did this random kid come from?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like there's too many plot holes, and that you can notice right away. Like they used a lot of star power to try to push this one too.
Yeah, they did. A lot of big characters. I'm not going to say because it just came out. I'm not going to talk about it a lot. I just, watch it. Send us your feedback. Put it in the comments of our show and let us know what you think, because we can talk about it more next week. But I feel that it was worth watching, but not having to pay for it. If I had to pay for it, I would have been a little bit more mad at myself.
I'm trying to figure out the one comedian on there. I'm trying to remember his name, but I'm resorting to Google.
Oh, from Saturday Night Live.
No, can we all just agree that Tracy Morgan isn't as funny as he thinks he's funny?
I like Tracy Morgan.
I like Tracy Morgan, but he's not as funny as he thinks he is. He's just funny when he's just himself. When he tries too much, it's just something about him that I cannot enjoy too much of.
And I think it's Coming to America 2 is getting some negative feedback by the critics. And one thing, I guess Eddie stepped in and said, look, this was never supposed to be funnier than the first one or anything about that. It's not about the funniness this time. It's about celebrating the Black culture. And that's what he said was the main drive for this, with everything that's happened in our nation and around the world. He wanted to turn a little bit of positive. So I give him credit for that.
I give him, dude. There's a lot of outside of the box people making life better for us, like Swiss Beats and Timberland. They started this versus thing. I don't know if you heard of it or have actually paid attention to it, but they'll pick two big stars and they'll go song for song on their catalog. But it's not a battle. It's celebrating each person's hits. And Snoop Dogg and DMX did one. And if you haven't seen it, I will go to YouTube and you need to watch it. But the way they sing each other's songs and the way they parallel into each other, it's a great celebration and a relief from the craziness that's out there.
Yeah. And I think we need more of that, which is pretty much why we started this from the very beginning. This was to celebrate life and diversity between, thoughts, appearances, cultures. I think that's what we talked about from the very beginning, that we were going to celebrate that and show that the world can get along no matter who you are. And I look at you as a brother, so.
Well, we know we did this podcast show so people can see your handsome face too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's going to have to start getting charged if they want to see that.
Yeah. Well,
we would have to start a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe for a Jimmy Jam smile. So before we go, I got to tell you about crazy dream that I had.
Okay.
And last night I had this crazy dream and I woke up and I woke Tara up. I was like, so my dream was I was in this house and Freddy Krueger was chasing me. I would run as fast as I can around this house. And I finally end up in the kitchen and he was running right at me and he stops. He bends down, opens up the dog cage, and pets my dog. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? He goes, it's not her nightmare, it's yours. She's a good dog. Pets my dog. And I wake up like, what the heck is going on?
What did you eat before bed last night?
Fruit.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know where my brain was at. Oh, man. Well, with that being said, of a very great episode, my brother. Very great episode.
Yes, my brother. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Talk to you soon.
I want to thank everybody for listening to another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. And of course, follow us on all social media platforms and like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to the shenanigans.
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee Break Podcast.